Hi everybody, this is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we're going to show you how to add your KW email to your Outlook program. Now this is for Outlook 365 or Outlook 2019. They're roughly the same thing. If you have an older version of Outlook, unfortunately this video may not be able to help you. The settings are going to probably be the same, but how to access them is not going to be exactly the same. So if you feel confident that you can figure it out, that you can click on the same thing in your version as it is in this version, you're welcome to do that. But if you do have an older version, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to offer any kind of step-by-step instructions because we don't have access to any older versions of Outlook. This is the newest version, and this is the only one we have access to. Now, one thing to point out before we get started is that this is a follow along video. You're going to click where I click, you're going to do what I do. And if I move too quickly for you, the magic of using video is you can actually let me do the action, pause the video, you perform the action, and then you can start the video again and follow along and pause it as often as you need to. That's why we like these videos, because you can move at your own pace. You do not have to try to keep up with me. So to get started adding your KW email to your Outlook here, there's a couple of prerequisites that need to be done in your Google account. So first, you'll want to make sure that you're signed into your KW email account. From your KW email inbox here, up in the very top right, we're going to click on Settings. And then in the menu that drops down, we're going to click on Settings again. So we'll click on the gear, then we'll click on Settings in the menu. In the Settings section, we're going to come over to the tab that says Forwarding and Pop Imap. On this page, there's a couple of options for checking your email from another device. One is POP and the other is IMAP. The one we're going to show you in this video is IMAP. This is the one that we recommend using because this means that your email can stay in sync across multiple devices. So Outlook on your computer, your phone mail application, and also on the Gmail web interface like we are here. If you use POP instead, that means only one device has access to those emails. So if you add it to your Outlook via POP, you're only going to be able to access your emails on your Outlook on your computer. You wouldn't be able to access them on your phone or on the Gmail web interface. So typically we're going to recommend IMAP, but we are going to create a separate video for how to do it for POP as well if that's more your style. So in this section, you want to make sure that Enable IMAP is selected. Disable IMAP may be on by default, and you'll want to change it to Enable IMAP. Then come down to the very bottom and Save Changes. Make sure you click Save after you click Enable IMAP. One other thing that we need to do is in your Google account. So up in the very top right next to the KW logo, you should see either your picture or your initials in a circle here. If I click on this, we're going to go to Google account, the big blue button here for your KW email. On the Google account page, there's a couple of things we need to make sure of. Over on the left side under Security, and if you have two-step verification turned on, you can actually leave this on. We're going to set up what's called an app password to deal with that. If you don't have two-step verification turned on, you can leave that off for the time being. There's another step that's going to be necessary for if you don't have two-step verification turned on. There's one extra step depending on which way you have it on or off. If you have it turned on, we're going to come down here and click on App Passwords here. And it's going to ask you to verify that it's actually you because these app passwords do grant full access to your account, skipping the two-step verification. Once you're on the app passwords page, over on the left under Select App, we're not going to select Mail. That's for the default Mail app on either Windows or Mac. Instead, we're going to come down here to Other, Custom Name here, and we're going to call this Outlook. And I'm just going to throw the 2019 365 there. Excuse me, 65 right there. And then we'll click Generate here. And this is going to generate a 16-digit password. So you can copy that. And I would just recommend pasting that into Notepad so that you have that to paste into Outlook later, because we do have to go back and cover that step that's specific to if you don't have two-step verification turned on. So we'll click Done right here. And we're going to come back out to the security section. Once we're back out to the security page, if you don't have two-step verification, we also want to scroll down near the very bottom and under the section called Less Secure App Access, we want to go to Turn On Access, even though it says it's not recommended. This is the only way you can get your KW email onto Outlook. So we have to click on Turn On Access. And then over on the right here, we have to click the switch to turn it from gray to blue. Blue means that it's on. We want to allow less secure apps. We have to do this this in order to access your KW email via Outlook. Now that that's done, we can finally come over to the Outlook program. So here's my Outlook here. There's nothing in here just yet. So we're going to go to the top left here and click on File. And then just above Account Settings, we're actually just going to click this plus sign for Add Account. It's going to pop up the box here with the Outlook logo asking you what your email address is. You're going to put in your full KW email. And then under Advanced Options, we do want to click on this, and we'll check the box for Let me set up my account manually. Then we'll click Connect. It's going to ask us what type of account is this. We'll go ahead and click on Google. And it asks you to enter your password. This is going to be the password for your KW email, or that app password that we just created over in the security section. And it says account successfully created, Imap, and that is set up. That's all we really need to do. So we would just click done down here. We can actually uncheck this box for set up Outlook on my mobile phone. We don't necessarily want to send that there, and we'll close the box here. So now when I come back to Outlook, it'll show my KW email messages here over on the left under my KW email address. That's how you can add your KW email to Outlook 365 or 2019, whichever you want to call it. If you have additional questions about this process, feel free to send us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com.